these foods here that you see are making you fat. So that's right. I've got a Diet Coke, a salad, and an avocado. So in my daily reality, I see a lot of people who are overweight and wanting to lose weight, and they're eating foods that look a lot like this. So maybe if you're looking to lose weight, so I specialize in helping people to lose weight and regain their health. So for example, I eat the foods that I recommend. So I'm 5'11", and I weighed about 65 kilos this morning. And I say that the lighting isn't great, but hopefully you can see I've just had a big bowl of the foods that I recommend. So I've eaten a lot already today, and I don't feel bloated, and I'm not fat. And on this channel, I promote a vegan, high sugar, low fat, low protein diet lifestyle in order to lose weight and regain your health through eating as much of the foods as I recommend. And I'm going to show you the misunderstandings, the confusion that perhaps the media or maybe a nutritionist or dietitian is maybe telling you that it's not working, and you maybe see other people eating foods like these and it's not working for them. So I usually see, and I have to be frank and honest so that you can see that the way that you're probably living isn't working. Okay, so I usually see the people who have the biggest sizes of diet soft drinks. So this is a tiny little one, so this is just a prop and I'm not going to be having it. Usually the people who are carrying the most weight, so the people who are the most over fat, they've usually got 2-litre containers, 2-litre bottles of sugar-free pop. So this is sugar-free Coke. And I see people, they're buying salads because they think, that'll work great for weight loss. And then they're having foods like this avocado here. This is a large avocado because they've been told that there's such a thing as healthy fats. Okay, so I'll break these misunderstandings down. I'll show you where you're going wrong with your daily routine, your daily food plan or meal plan, and then I'll give you a suggestion of what foods I recommend for sustained weight loss. And there'll be an email contact in the description where you can get in contact in order to start your journey for weight loss, so sustainable weight loss. So I'll be able to put a personalized meal plan together for you if you want that coaching. So first of all, Diet Coke is not going to help you to lose weight. And the reason for the misunderstanding of actually being told sugar's making you fat. Sugar does not make you fat. Sugar is what will help you to lose weight. So there's many reasons why you're being told at the moment that sugar is terrible for your health. So I could go on and on in a long video about that, and I have other videos on the channel explaining sugar and why we see the way we see it in today's society and the culture today. But essentially, fat is what is making you fat. So if you're eating lots of fat, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. So for me, I probably have no more than 20 grams of fat day to day, and probably average about 10 grams of fat, eating unlimited amounts of the foods that I'm going to show you. So if you're trying to lose weight by removing sugar from your diet and you're still not losing weight, it should become obvious that it's not the sugar that's making you fat. And sugar is very important because it's what powers every cell in your body to produce the molecule of ATP, so ATP derived from glucose, is what the body uses to power it during the day. And if you didn't produce ATP, well, it wouldn't go very well for you, okay? So I don't recommend buying the sugar-free Coke or sugar-free. I recommend buying the sugary drinks, but not caffeine, okay? So I don't recommend caffeine. I recommend the sugary drinks are fine. And yeah, isn't that a great thing to hear? You can eat sugary drinks. So lemonade is a great one if you can get lemonade, because it's usually caffeine free, so stimulant free, and it's powering you just with the sugar, which is what you're meant to consume for your energy. So there's that one. So these Diet Cokes, they're essentially being made because the sugar-free industry, or the sugar being bad for your health, is just a movement in order to generate more money. So Coca-Cola, for example, or the soft drinks industry, they don't need to put as much in to make these, so it makes them cheaper. So they don't actually need to put anything into it. Essentially, sugar is, when they remove sugar from the manufacturing process, they're making more money from you. And if you're focusing on sugar being the cause of you becoming overweight, you are never going to lose weight, because the problem is the fat that you're eating, not the sugar, okay? So the fat you eat is the fat you wear. So stop focusing on the wrong macronutrient. Stop blaming sugar, which is fat free, and start blaming fat. So why does eating a salad make you fat? That might seem like a very strange thing to say, but it's the mentality behind why you're buying salad. And yes, on my weight loss journey to understanding, I've fallen for the salad faux pas. I didn't fall for the Diet Coke. I was onto that one straight away. But yes, I fell for this salad at times during my understanding. But the reason why you don't want to focus on salad is because you want to focus on what is going to satiate you, which is high carbohydrate foods. So if you are thinking that if you're just going to eat salad, and therefore it's low calorie and you can just eat healthy salad, then that means you're going to become hungry after you've eaten salad, because it doesn't really contain anything other than maybe some vitamins and minerals, which you can get from other sources that I'm going to show you that are more enjoyable. So when you're having this, you think you're losing weight because you're not eating any calories. It's just basically vitamins, minerals, and a bit of water and a bit of fiber. Then later on in the day, you're going to get hungry, and then you're going to stuff yourself because you're just going to want to eat anything. And then by the time you maybe get to the evening, you're just eating the most high calorie foods, which per calorie, fat is about 9 calories per gram, and sugar is less than half, okay? So fat is the high calorie foods, sugar is the lower calorie foods, okay? So that's that misunderstanding. So you don't need to focus on eating salads to be healthy and weight loss. This again is just marketing. And then last but not least from this naughty trio is the healthy fat. The idea that there's healthy fats, okay? There's no such thing as healthy fats. The reason why you're being marketed to eat foods like avocados is, again, it's marketing, and it makes the food industry money. So these are expensive. Avocados are expensive, and they're also not great for the environment. You know, naturally, these would only be ripe maybe 7 to 10 days or so each year, naturally. And yeah, I don't believe we're humans are meant to eat foods like this, because if you think about how big the seed is inside, when naturally in nature, when nature wants seeds to be dispersed, these probably would have been eaten by large herbivores, large mammals, up until maybe the last ice age, which would have been able to eat foods like this and swallow seeds like that, whereas we cannot. So we wouldn't be able to disperse those. So I don't think we're even meant to be eating foods like this. But the most common, the foremost disease in the West is heart disease. So this is what most people will die from each year, and it's from excess fat. So whenever anyone's telling you about fat and you should be eating fat, just remember that heart disease exists and it affects the most people. It's the foremost chronic disease, okay? So you need to always remember heart disease. So whenever the food industry gets worried that people are going to start to reduce their fat intake, it really is as easy as putting healthy in front of fat, and people will worry and they think they'll need to increase their fat intake. So yes, it's ridiculous, isn't it? So whenever you see maybe someone now, they quite often, this is probably a lunch for a lot of people, for example, maybe a meal deal or something like that in your daily routine. This is not working, obviously. This will not lead to sustainable weight loss, because it doesn't. This doesn't work and never will for any human being, okay? So forget this rubbish, okay? The Diet Coke and the salad and the healthy fats. And what you need to be having instead is foods like these, okay? So does that already look much better? So this is some fruit juice, some vegan gummy sweets, some fruit, so a mini watermelon, and I've got an empty bag of white rice, but that symbolises white rice. So these are the foods that I recommend for sustainable weight loss. And the reasoning behind this is because these are low fat, they're low protein, and they're high carbohydrate. So the reason why high carbohydrate is important is because that will satiate you, and therefore you won't overeat, which is what happens when you don't get enough of what your body's meant to have to satiate you, which is sugar. And if you don't believe me, make yourself up some sugar water. So I would say, just as an experiment to see whether sugar does satiate you, make yourself up some sugar water. So 500 milliliters of water with 100 grams of table sugar. Drink that all down just before maybe you're going to have your tea, and see how much you want to eat your tea, okay? So I'm willing to bet that you probably don't want to eat for a few hours after you've had something like that, or you don't necessarily want to eat after you've had sugar. And this is why parents say to their children, okay, you can't have your sweet until you've had your mains and your greens, because they know that the sweet, whether it's fruit or sugary ice cream, for example, will satiate the child, and they won't want to eat their main meal, which is maybe, the standard broccoli or whatever. And so that's sugar. And then low fat. You want low fat because the fat you eat is the fat you wear. And protein, again, you want to keep protein intake low. And the reason for this is because fat and protein lead you to become more anabolic. So just think, what does a bodybuilder eat? Okay, so a bodybuilder diet is high fat, high protein to start to grow. So that's anabolic. So if you want to become more catabolic, so more in maintenance phase and leaning out, you need to change your diet and lifestyle from the Homer Simpson way of living and this ridiculous healthy fat to the vegan, high sugar, performance, energy lifestyle. Okay, so you can either continue living like Homer Simpson, or you can change and live like how you're meant to live, okay, which is on starches and simple sugars. Okay, and I've eaten like this way for years, and I'm always the leanest person in the room, and I never count calories. I never starve myself. I'm not allowed to eat more than 2,000 calories a day. I eat as much to make me feel full, whether that might be 3,000 or 4,000 calories or more maybe. So yeah, I've got fruit juice, which I find is great any time of the day. I have some vegan gummy sweets. The gummy sweets I find are good, again, any time of the day. And fruit, I think these are fruit, watermelon. Fruit's good, definitely in the morning for breakfast, and maybe lunch. And then rice, white rice with some sauce, herbs and spices in the sauce. That's great for maybe tea or lunch as well. And this lifestyle satiates you. So once you're full, you're full. So rice is amazing when you've had a big bowl of rice. You don't want to eat for hours, and it digests amazing. There's no bloating on this. Whereas if you're eating animal products, high in fat and high in protein, you're going to get bloated, gain weight, and feel rubbish, mentally and physically. Whereas this way, you feel good physically and mentally. So, yeah. It seems a simple switch, and it is, but the thing that's holding you back is your fear of sugar. The fear of sugar has been drilled into you so much that it's stopping you from changing. So if you're told that this makes you fat and diabetic, for example, which it does not, and I've got a series on the channel of me using a CGM. I don't have it on anymore because I've finished the series, but I did a CGM, used a CGM, and I showed what foods I ate: high sugar, low fat, low protein, lots of sugars, and I'm not diabetic. And that's the scientific proof, if you want it, of what I talk about. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you start to break through the prison system of the modern life. Okay, so everything is set up to make you more sick, to make you sick, so that the healthcare system and the pharmaceutical industry can make lots of money from you. So yeah, I used to think a little bit, but I've been eating like this for years, and that sort of confusion I had when I was a kid growing up. I wasn't born vegan. I become vegan through becoming more knowledgeable, and having more life experience, and reading the science, seeing, observing life day to day, and seeing the people who drink Coke, that's the diet format, they always are the ones that want to lose the weight the most. So it can't be that it's sugar, can it? Because if you cut out sugar, you should lose weight, but you don't. You get bigger. So if you cut sugar out, you probably will increase your fat intake, and then you'll get even bigger. And then maybe you'll try keto, which makes you feel sick, and then you lose weight because you just don't eat anything, and then you feel terrible after 6 months, and that just destroys your health. So this is the way to eat. So the spider on there. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you have any questions, that's what the comment section is for. And I'll see you in the next one. I say I have other videos on the channel showing that yes, I do recommend cycling. Partly it's great for weight loss, but also this lifestyle of high energy allows you to go on adventures into nature, and it means you're not trapped in your house where you feel terrible and you need to pass the day by using drugs or stimulants. So I don't recommend any drugs or any stimulant, just high energy. So enjoy life and stop wasting your life trying to lose weight on these ridiculous diet Coke. Okay. So stop worrying about all of this excess sugar, okay, and worry about the fat that you're eating and the fat that you're wearing. So sugar is fat-free, fat is fat. And protein, excess protein, it turns to fat. So I'll see you in the next one, and thank you for your time.